Hey everyone, I'm Astrid, a 25-year-old woman, and I want to share my story with you. It's about how I dealt with a tough situation involving my husband and his family. This all happened a few months ago, but it's still fresh in my mind. Let me start from the beginning. About 3 years ago, I made what turned out to be a big mistake. I married my boyfriend at the time, Lars. Lars and I met through friends and had been dating for 4 years. He seemed like a great guy, fun, caring, and from a wealthy family with a good job. We clicked right away, especially because we both loved to travel. Our relationship was going well, and my friends were happy for us. Lars was really sweet to me, always giving me gifts and planning fun trips. He even got me a laptop when I graduated from college. At first, I felt uncomfortable with Lars spending so much on me. I told him I didn't have much money to return the favor, but he insisted. He said he liked treating his girlfriend and didn't mind spending money on me. Even though Lars paid for a lot of things, I tried to do my part by getting him gifts and planning dates within my budget. When I got a good job after college, I was excited to be able to spoil Lars too. We started splitting expenses evenly and talked about moving in together. Lars suggested I move into his house, which he inherited from his grandpa. He said I wouldn't have to pay rent since the house was fully paid for. I appreciated the offer, but insisted on splitting other expenses equally. I didn't want him to feel like he had to take care of me all the time. Everything was going fine until I met Lars's family. They lived far away, so I hadn't met them before. Lars warned me that they could be judgmental, but I didn't think much of it. However, when I finally met them, things took a turn for the worse. Lars picked up his parents and sister from the airport, but when they arrived, they seemed upset about something. We tried to have a friendly chat, but the atmosphere was tense. I soon realized that Lars's parents, Ingrid and Gustav, weren't too fond of me. They seemed surprised to see me in Lars's house and questioned whether I paid rent. I explained that Lars said I didn't need to pay rent because the house was already fully paid for, but we split all the bills evenly. However, Ingrid insisted that just because the house was paid for didn't mean I could take advantage of Lars. She made it clear that the house belonged to Lars, not me, and I should remember that. The conversation left me feeling uncomfortable, especially because Lars's sister, Freja, didn't even try to talk to me. Instead, she glared at me the whole time. When I tried to include her in the conversation, she dismissed us, saying she was married to a rich billionaire back home. Throughout their stay, Gustav and Ingrid criticized me, saying I spent too much money on makeup and skincare and insinuating that I was relying on Lars's money. I tried to reassure them that I bought my own things and lived a simple life, but they didn't seem to believe me. Lars didn't help the situation. He laughed along with his parents and made comments against me, even when they weren't true. When they left, I felt uneasy and asked Lars about it, but he brushed it off, saying I was overreacting and that his parents meant well. But their words hurt me deeply, especially because I felt guilty about accepting gifts from Lars when we were in college. 6 months later, Lars proposed to me, and I was overjoyed because I loved him dearly. We planned an engagement party together, splitting the expenses evenly. I had been working on a small business on the side, which had started doing well in less than a year. Lars knew about it but never asked about my earnings, so I didn't tell him much. To celebrate our engagement, I decided to treat myself a little with a big party, and Lars was supportive of the idea. Despite our plans for the party, the tension from Lars's parents' visit lingered in my mind. But we carried on, splitting all the expenses equally because it was an expensive celebration. I really wanted Lars to meet my extended family, so I paid for their plane tickets to come to the engagement party. However, on the day of the party, they made some hurtful comments. They criticized me for spending too much money on the party, implying that I was draining Lars's account and would end up having a backyard wedding because of my financial irresponsibility. Lars's parents also chimed in, saying the party was over the top and unnecessary. They seemed upset about the cost and implied that I had manipulated Lars into spending money. This was very disrespectful, especially considering we had discussed and agreed on the party beforehand. Feeling overwhelmed and hurt, I stepped outside for some fresh air, only to overhear Lars's sister and her husband laughing about me. It felt like my engagement party was being ruined by their judgmental behavior. Most of Lars's extended family didn't even know I had a job. They thought I was jobless and dependent on Lars. My mom, who noticed my sadness, came over to comfort me. She's always been protective and doesn't tolerate disrespect, especially towards her child. She advised me to reconsider the engagement and have a serious talk with Lars about his family's behavior. After the party, I confronted Lars about my concerns. He brushed it off, saying he was joking and that he loves me regardless of money. But I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was paying for everything except rent. When I brought up the idea of contributing to rent, he dismissed it again. The wedding planning process wasn't any easier. Lars's parents continued to criticize my choices, accusing me of bankrupting their son and treating him like a cash cow. It was hurtful to hear them suggest that I was robbing Lars and expecting them to foot the bill for everything. I reminded them that my mom and I were both contributing to the wedding expenses, but they seemed to ignore that. I'm not asking for money, Gustav. I'm simply letting you know that we can pay for this wedding just fine, I asserted calmly as Gustav continued to express concerns about the wedding expenses. But despite my reassurances, Gustav and Ingrid persisted in their belief that I was overspending and bleeding their son dry. On the day of the wedding, Freja kept commenting on how I had overspent on my dress and makeup. I tried to explain that my mom had paid for these things, but she didn't seem to listen. During the reception, Ingrid and Gustav kept bringing up how I spent too much money, casting a shadow over what should have been a joyous occasion. Determined not to let them spoil my wedding like they had with the engagement, I kept quiet, hoping for a peaceful day. However, the calm didn't last long. A few months later, Lars received a big promotion at work, and he wanted to celebrate with a dinner party for both sides of our family. I was thrilled for him and wanted to make the dinner extra special, so I decided to pay for the entire party. When I shared my plan with Lars, he was surprised but grateful. He expressed concern about where I would get the money, but I assured him that my business was doing well and I had access to a trust fund from my paternal grandfather. Lars was pleased with my decision, and I took charge of planning the entire event. The dinner party went smoothly until Lars's family arrived. They looked displeased with the preparations, but I couldn't understand why since everyone else seemed to think everything was perfect. However, their true feelings became apparent during the speeches. Ingrid stood up and made hurtful comments about me, calling me a gold digger and implying that I was responsible for emptying Lars's accounts with my extravagant spending. Her words stung, and I felt a mix of anger and hurt as I listened to her accusations. Lars's family joined in, echoing Ingrid's sentiments and expressing pity for Lars. Feeling hurt and betrayed, I confronted them, asking if they really thought I was a gold digger. Their response was dismissive, and they continued to belittle me, blaming me for their financial woes. The evening ended on a sour note, and I couldn't shake off the feeling of being unfairly judged by Lars's family. Their words lingered in my mind, casting a shadow over what should have been a happy celebration of Lars's success. As Lars's family continued their hurtful remarks, suggesting I was a gold digger and even accusing me of stealing Lars's money, I reached my breaking point. In that moment, I knew I had to take a stand. Holding my head high, I decided to show them my bank balance to prove that I hadn't stolen anything from Lars. Their reaction was disbelief, with Lars's parents accusing me of lying and stealing from their son. But I stood my ground, explaining that the money was from my own hard work and recent access to a trust fund left by my grandfather. I had planned to use it to buy a bigger house as a surprise for Lars, but their insults had shattered that dream. Fed up with their disrespect and Lars's failure to defend me, I made a decision that shocked everyone present. I asked for a divorce. Despite Lars's attempts to stop me, I knew I couldn't continue to tolerate the toxic environment created by his family's insults and his own betrayal. Leaving the party with my head held high, I realized that I had exposed Lars's true colors to everyone there. I gathered my belongings from our house and went to stay with my mother, seeking solace in her support. The next day, I contacted my cousin, who is a lawyer, and asked him to draw up divorce papers. With the prenuptial agreement in place, the process would be straightforward, and I wouldn't have to give Lars any money, despite now having more assets than him. Despite Lars's continued attempts to contact me, I remained resolute in my decision. When he and his family showed up at my mother's house, demanding to speak to me, she firmly defended my choice to cut ties with them. Refusing to engage further, I made it clear that I was done with their toxic behavior and would not be swayed. In the end, I knew I deserved someone who respected and supported me, and I refused to settle for anything less. Though my marriage had ended, I was determined to move forward and rebuild my life on my own terms, free from the insults and manipulation of Lars and his family. After Lars's dramatic exit from my mother's house, he continued to bombard me with texts and voicemails, ranging from desperate pleas for forgiveness to angry threats of retaliation. I made sure to document everything, storing the recordings in case I needed to pursue a restraining order against him. With my emotions in turmoil, my mother became my rock, providing unwavering support during this difficult time. Even when Lars tried to show up at my office, she helped me ensure he was promptly escorted out by security. Faced with his relentless harassment, I made the decision to quit my job, despite it being well paid. My business was thriving, and I no longer needed the added stress of a corporate environment. I submitted my resignation that very day. A week after serving Lars with divorce papers at his workplace, he attempted to confront me at my now former office, only to discover I had already left. Undeterred, he continued his harassment, sending flowers and gifts to my mother's address. We returned all parcels, refusing to engage with his manipulative gestures. The harassment became so intense that I seriously considered relocating. With my mother's assistance, I found a perfect home in the next state, a peaceful sanctuary where I could rebuild my life away from Lars's toxic influence. With paperwork in progress, I awaited the finalization of my divorce. Despite enduring 6 months of separation, the judge swiftly granted our divorce, given the solidity of our prenuptial agreement. Once the divorce was finalized, I wasted no time in moving to my new home, complete with a fresh phone number to evade Lars's persistent attempts to contact me. Meanwhile, Lars's life spiraled into chaos. His professional reputation suffered, and his relationships with colleagues and seniors deteriorated due to the negative publicity surrounding our divorce. In a desperate attempt to salvage his image, Lars's parents resorted to spreading rumors about me, accusing me of infidelity and maligning my character. However, their efforts only backfired, tarnishing their own reputations within their community. Meanwhile, I focused on thriving, dedicating myself to improving my business and embracing the opportunity to rediscover joy in my life. Though Lars's actions left me with lingering insecurities, I remain cautious about rushing into new relationships. Yet, I hold on to hope for healing and the prospect of finding someone who will truly cherish and respect me in the future. In the aftermath of my divorce from Lars, I found solace in the tranquility of my new home. Surrounded by peace and quiet, I immersed myself in the process of healing and self-discovery. Away from the chaos of my past relationship, I began to rediscover my sense of self-worth and confidence. With each passing day, I devoted myself wholeheartedly to my business, pouring my energy into its growth and expansion. The challenges of entrepreneurship provided a welcome distraction from the emotional turmoil of my recent divorce, allowing me to channel my emotions into productive endeavors. As my business flourished, I found a renewed sense of purpose and fulfillment in my work. But amidst the busyness of building my career, I also made time for self-care and personal growth. I explored new hobbies and interests, indulging in activities that brought me joy and fulfillment. Whether it was hiking in the great outdoors or immersing myself in the world of literature, I embraced each opportunity for self-discovery and personal enrichment. In addition to focusing on my own well-being, I also prioritized nurturing my relationships with friends and family. Surrounding myself with positive influences and supportive individuals helped me navigate the challenges of post-divorce life with strength and resilience. Their unwavering love and encouragement provided a source of comfort and stability during times of uncertainty. As I gradually healed from the wounds of my past relationship, I found myself open to the possibility of new beginnings. While I remained cautious about rushing into a new romance, I embraced the prospect of meeting someone who would appreciate me for who I truly am. With a newfound sense of optimism and self-assurance, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and growth, ready to embrace whatever the future held in store. In the tranquility of my new home, I found sanctuary. Surrounded by the gentle whispers of nature and the comforting embrace of solitude, I began to unravel the tangled threads of my emotions. Each day brought a renewed sense of clarity and purpose as I navigated the labyrinth of post-divorce life. Immersing myself in the rhythm of daily life, I discovered the healing power of routine. From the soft glow of dawn to the hushed stillness of night, I found solace in the simple rituals that grounded me amidst the chaos of change. Whether it was sipping my morning coffee on the sunlit porch or tending to the blossoming flowers in my garden, each moment became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. But beyond the confines of my home, a world of opportunity beckoned. With newfound courage and determination, I embarked on a journey of exploration and self-discovery. From the vibrant bustle of bustling city streets to the tranquil serenity of remote countryside retreats, I ventured forth into the unknown, eager to embrace the richness of life's tapestry. In the company of friends and loved ones, I found strength and solace. Their laughter became the melody of my heart, weaving a tapestry of joy and camaraderie that uplifted my spirit. Together, we forged new memories and shared in the warmth of companionship, finding solace in the bonds that held us together. As the seasons changed and time flowed ever onward, I found myself embracing the ebb and flow of life's journey. Each passing moment became a precious gift, a reminder of the beauty and fragility of existence. Through moments of triumph and moments of doubt, I remained steadfast in my resolve to chart my own course and seize the opportunities that lay before me. And so, with each step forward, I embraced the infinite possibilities that awaited me. Guided by the light of hope and fueled by the fire of resilience, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and growth, ready to embrace whatever the future held in store. For in the quiet moments of reflection and introspection, I found the strength to rise from the ashes of my past and embrace the boundless potential of tomorrow. In the sanctuary of my new home, I found not only peace, but also a newfound sense of liberation. Freed from the constraints of a toxic relationship, I reveled in the opportunity to rediscover myself and redefine my path in life. Each day became a canvas upon which I painted my dreams and aspirations, exploring the depths of my creativity and imagination. From the pages of my journal to the strokes of my paintbrush, I unleashed the full force of my passions, allowing them to guide me on a journey of self-expression and self-discovery. But amidst the whirlwind of artistic inspiration, I also found solace in the quiet moments of introspection. In the gentle embrace of solitude, I delved deep into the recesses of my soul, confronting the demons of doubt and insecurity that had long plagued me. Through self-reflection and self-care, I nurtured a sense of inner peace and acceptance, embracing the flaws and imperfections that made me uniquely human. In the company of kindred spirits and kindred souls, I found camaraderie and connection. Together, we embarked on adventures both grand and small, weaving memories that would linger long after the echoes of laughter had faded. With each shared moment, I discovered the transformative power of friendship and the profound impact of genuine human connection. As the seasons turned and the world outside shifted and changed, I remained steadfast in my commitment to personal growth and self-improvement. Through the highs and lows of life's journey, I held fast to the belief that every experience, whether joyous or challenging, held within it the seeds of growth and enlightenment. And so, armed with courage and resilience, I ventured forth into the vast unknown, eager to embrace whatever the future held in store. With each passing day, I drew closer to the realization of my dreams, fueled by the unwavering belief that within me lay the power to create a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. In the end, it was not the destination, but the journey itself that defined my existence. And as I stood on the precipice of possibility, I knew that the best was yet to come. With an open heart and an indomitable spirit, I welcomed the challenges and adventures that lay ahead, ready to write the next chapter of my story with courage, grace, and unwavering determination. In the midst of my newfound independence, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery that transcended the confines of my physical surroundings. Guided by an insatiable thirst for knowledge and understanding, I delved into the depths of literature, philosophy, and spirituality, seeking wisdom and enlightenment in the pages of ancient texts and the teachings of sages. In the quiet solitude of my home, I found refuge in the embrace of books, each one a gateway to new worlds and new perspectives. From the timeless wisdom of classic literature to the profound insights of spiritual teachings, I immersed myself in a rich tapestry of ideas and ideologies, eager to expand my mind and nourish my soul. But my quest for self-discovery extended beyond the realm of academia and intellectual pursuit. Inspired by the beauty of nature and the rhythms of the natural world, I ventured into the great outdoors, embracing the serenity of forest trails, mountain peaks, and rolling meadows. In the tranquil stillness of nature, I found a profound sense of connection and belonging, as if the earth itself whispered secrets of wisdom and solace. As I journeyed deeper into the recesses of my own consciousness, I uncovered hidden truths and untapped reservoirs of strength and resilience. Through meditation and mindfulness, I cultivated a sense of inner peace and tranquility, learning to quiet the noise of the outside world and listen to the whispers of my own intuition. But perhaps most importantly, I discovered the power of self-love and self-acceptance. In embracing my flaws and imperfections, I found liberation from the shackles of self-doubt and insecurity, embracing the fullness of my humanity with open arms. Through acts of self-care and compassion, I nurtured a deep sense of love and reverence for the person I was becoming, celebrating my journey of growth and evolution with gratitude and humility. And so, as I stood on the threshold of a new chapter in my life, I embraced the endless possibilities that lay before me with a sense of excitement and anticipation. For in the crucible of self-discovery, I had found not only the courage to face life's challenges, but also the wisdom to navigate its complexities with grace and resilience. With each step forward, I embraced the journey of becoming, knowing that the path to self-realization was as infinite and boundless as the universe itself.